It's a little bit different than what we usually do because it's a special event, I think. And we're going to have Carol come up here and read a very, very short version of a long story. And everybody's probably pleased with that if you've heard it more than about 6 times. And then we're going to hear from our Al-Anon co-founder. And then I'm going to talk a little bit and try to correct all the mistakes. And then we're going to have a great workshop by Mr. Clancy I. So with that, we'll start out with Miss Carol. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Carol Borner, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm sober because of God Alcoholics Anonymous and my sponsor since June the 24th, 1989. Okay, on December 10th, 1987, John S. and 6 others started a new meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. They decided to be an active group. They followed the structure of the Pacific group and the enthusiasm of the Foxhall group. Originally, the meetings were held on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The recovery group was structured for family recovery with AAs and Al-Anons meeting at the same time in the same building. John wanted the group to be named the Carpe Group, but Cindy suggested the name Recovery because of its positive tone in connection with the foundation of our 3 legacies: unity, service, and recovery. Thank God for Cindy. The Al-Anon Recovery Group was started at that same time. Both the AA and Al-Anon groups elected officers, most notably their secretaries, general service representatives, and group representatives. The past AA secretaries are Dale E., John S., Bob P., Jesse V., Jeff D., Scott W., Debbie K., Scott D., Robin L., Shane M., Robbie E., Roger R., Laura S., Wade S., Joe H., Debbie R., Vince V., and Trudy D. The current secretary is Retail Rick T. The past general service representatives are John S., Bill N., Jesse V., Trudy O., John B., Scott W., Wayne K., Shane M., Larray F., Beth M., and Cleve H. Our current GSR is Jumpin' Johnny Baylor. The past Al-Anon secretaries are Cindy S., Alice P., Deb P., Zia V., Bobby, John P., Mary R., Lynn E., Danelle L., Howard L., Jan S., Terry F., Luan R., Peggy P., Shaylin T., and Rebecca R. The current Al-Anon secretary is Marvelous Melody W. Yay! The Al-Anon group representatives are Alice P., Cindy S., Drew S., Lynn E., Bruce H., Howard L., Peggy P., Tracy D., and Mindy N. The current GR is Jason Janet S. All right. By December of 1998, the group had 20 members and decided to celebrate their first anniversary with a speaker event. This event was so successful that it was decided to have such an event the first Saturday of every month. After 17 months of this exhausting effort, the group reevaluated the situation and decided on celebrating its anniversary the first Saturday of December. Since that time, we have had speakers from all over the world and various other places, like Los Angeles. Additionally, the group has events each quarter, which are the Men's and Women's Retreats and the Beartooth Mountain Conference. Beartooth has been held each summer since 1993 and is structured after the Mountain High and Canyon conferences. Meeting places for the group has changed several times since April 1993 when we began leasing 103 North 24th. The building, formerly a miniature golf facility, was renovated by group members to accommodate the meetings of AA, Al-Anon, and Alateen, as well as babysitting. Each October, the newly elected secretary coordinates the building cleanup. This event promotes unity within the group. I can't write. I can read, but I can't write. This event promotes unity within the group. Members also take on special projects in the upkeep of our home, such as wallpaper in the women's bathroom, installing new doors in the meeting rooms, painting, installing a new cabinet in the Al-Anon room, and cleaning the carpet with and without an electrical fire. We take great pride in our home. The group has stuck to the decision to be an active group. Group members are active in service at the group, intergroup, district, and area levels. Members assist with bringing the message to correctional facilities and treatment facilities. The group also supports the service structure by regularly contributing money to the intergroup, district, area, and GSO. The recovery group contributed $670 last year to GSO's birthday plan in addition to our monthly contribution. As active AA and Al-Anon members, special events are well attended. In 1990, 28 members attended the International Convention in Seattle. 40 members were in attendance in San Diego in 1995, 70 members went to Minneapolis in 2000, and only 5 members were in Toronto for the 2005 convention, albeit the 5 members are the most enthusiastic and best-looking members of the group. That would be me, Terry, Scott, Bob, that's 4, and Johnny Baylor. Sorry, Johnny. The group meets 6 nights a week and is a safe, well-lighted place for newcomers to find a way out. Thank you for this opportunity to serve.
Thank you, Carol. Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Scott, very grateful member of the Al-Anon family group since January of 1983. And this is really awesome to have you come and help us celebrate 20 years. I can tell you 20 years ago, the alcoholic had a vision. And I do what I do best. I follow along in the tracks of the alcoholic. And this is one time that I think it was probably to a very beneficial thing. There's a lot of people in our Al-Anon group today that's reaping those benefits. And so I want to thank you all for showing up, tell you just a little bit about where the Al-Anon group, that Recovery Al-Anon group came from. I had gone to a meeting where they didn't do much in that meeting other than read the One Day at a Time book, and nobody had worked the steps, nobody talked about sponsorship, and I had this newly sober husband who was coming home talking about all these things, and I seen the light in his eyes, and I seen the things that were changing in his life, and it was a great attraction, I have to tell you. And so once again, Alcoholics Anonymous has, Arbutus talks about that Alcoholics Anonymous gave Al-Anon the 12 steps. That was the best amends thing that they have ever done. And I can truly tell you that, through all those years that we were doing what we were doing, I had no idea that we were getting prepared to begin something like this. And I am so very grateful for that. We went to look for a building to have our meeting, and we wanted Al-Anon and AA side by side. Family recovery was what I had in mind. And, Bill and Lois and Bob and Annie, they started the Alcoholics Anonymous and Al-Anon in such a fashion to where we were together in our recovery. The Al-Anon group that I was going to had only done like I said, we just read the One Day at a Time page and then say how we felt about that page. No wonder you alcoholics wondered what was going on in those meetings. There wasn't a whole lot of recovery going on. But anyway, I wanted something that would be like the old-time AA. And the interesting thing about it is I got my desire for recovery through listening tapes. And the only tapes that I had access to were Alcoholics Anonymous tapes. And to tell you the truth, those tapes were of Clancy. How interesting that he would be our guest today, because he had a great influence on my husband's sobriety as well as the developing of our family recovery, whether he knows it or not. I tried sponsoring his way with Al-Anons, but they don't go for that very well. And so over the years, I had to find me an Al-Anon sponsor. And I have a sponsor, and she sometimes has been called the Clancy of Al-Anon. I don't know if he's heard that. I'm sharing secrets today of our Al-Anon fellowship. But it's, the thing is what that has produced is what we see here today. Exciting, enthusiastic people that their lives are changing and families are being restored. Families are being restored. And that is so exciting to me. We started this group with some things in mind. As I said, sponsorship was one of those things. Working the steps was another one of those things. And working with others. I believe that that's probably the biggest part of my recovery. And so our Al-Anon group today, the Al-Anon Family Groups, recovery group, is one in which implements those principles. And I believe that because of that, there is a lot of families out there who are do not have to suffer from alcoholism anymore. We have a program of recovery. And I'm glad that I was able to build a fellowship up around me. It was one that I needed. I don't know about anybody else, but this was something I needed. And I will be forever grateful to Alcoholics Anonymous for being alongside of us, and forever grateful to the people and the Al-Anon recovery group that has allowed me to flourish and grow. So thanks for being here, you guys.
Well, I'm glad I get to be last. That way I can correct some mistakes. In the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous on page 164, it says that he will show you how to create the fellowship you crave. And that's what's happened. That's what's happened here. It's because of you folks in the recovery group of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the gift that you guys have given each other and me is just absolutely amazing, because I'm an alcoholic. I'm a bad drunk. I shouldn't even be around right now. And here, not only do I get to live, I get to live a wild and crazy life. I get to live a life beyond my wildest dreams, and for that I'm awful grateful. I'm really grateful, and I'm grateful that there's people in this room who caught that vision that is the group. And it's always been strong in sponsorship, and that's one of the things that's allowed me to stay here. When there's been a lot of times, and I said this the other night, there's been a lot of times I just really didn't want to go to a meeting that night because of whatever. And there's some new guy supposed to be there, so I go, and he's not even there, but I'm there. And there's a lot of times that there's guys that I sponsor that show up and they need something, and I end up going down there. And so I thank you. I thank the guys that I sponsor, and I thank the guys that are sponsored by the people that I sponsor. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens. It's like I said the other night, it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. Just make sure you're following the right monkey. I'm thankful for the people ahead of us. I was telling Clancy last night, I said, whether you know or not, this is your fault. And, I got a kick out of it last night. He was talking about the Chicago group and the L.A. group or the California group. And he was talking about how he got those things going. And the truth of the matter is the reason that we're here right now is because of the Pacific group and the things that we've learned from that ethic of sponsorship. My first sponsor claimed he was sponsored by Clancy, but Clancy doesn't remember him. We never have figured out who he was, but he at least he carried the message that you carried pretty much. And then my second sponsor was Jim Shaw, which a lot of these guys that have been here for a while know him, and now Dick is my sponsor. And so Clancy's always kind of been my grand sponsor. I was thinking about this on the way down here, and I haven't done this for a while, but just for the fun of it, if you would bear with me for a minute. Anybody who's in Clancy's sponsorship line, and if that was in my line, or if anybody from our group pretty much, why don't you stand up? And I know there's a lot of people from other groups, the same thing. This is kind of what happens when one man, properly armed with the book, can do carrying the message. And there's more people. I see more people that's sponsored in Clancy's sponsorship line that are not standing. But truth of the matter is it's amazing. It's amazing what happens whenever, it says in the book, it says if you're one man properly armed with the book and this message, what a difference it can make. And it is. It's a big deal. And sometimes we don't think it's a big deal. Sometimes we think it's just, I'm going to go back to another meeting tonight. It's Thursday, and I'm going to see the same people saying the same thing, doing the same crap, and I got to kind of act like I'm interested in it. But when you stand back and you look at the results of what happens, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of tragedy in our lives. I was talking to one of the guys when I was walking in the building today. It's a lot of tragedy, but there's a lot of joy here too. I'm grateful for this group. I'm grateful for the people who are willing to tear down and set up every night. I'm grateful for the people who open and close. I'm grateful for the secretaries, the past secretaries and the present secretaries, and the GSRs and the IGRs. And I'm grateful for the people who put their name on the phone list and take the call, no matter what time or night of day. I'm grateful for those people that go to the jails and the prisons. Week after week, month after month, year after year. And those are the things that make a strong group. And it's you people in this room. There's a lot of people in this room from other groups that are spin-offs from our group, and God love you. I don't know why you don't want to copy this deal, but I appreciate it, and I just absolutely am excited about being here, and I'm excited about the people that have showed up. And geez, there's a lot of friends I have. I got here, I didn't have but about one, and I was just buying him most of the booze. So, it's amazing. It's amazing what happens when we stick together. So, I don't know. I could talk for about another 4 or 5 days, but I'm not gonna. I've talked to Gary. Gary says he's got to hold up here for a few minutes, and when Gary gives me the signal, then we'll let Mr. Clancy come up here. And what was the topic? Some kind of a topic. Where do we go from here is his topic. And so thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.